Hello people of the tube, welcome to this next video. It is Sunday the 7th of March and today my video is mostly going to be about a practice session where I'm going to be working on Aerials by System of a Down. This is a song that I've been working on this week for a couple of reasons that I will get to in a moment. I have done a very quick warm-up with the pentatonic scales, and I'm not going to bother you with all of those. I thought we'll just launch straight into the song. Now, System of a Down are an Armenian-American heavy metal band. I'm not sure that I would put them heavily into the heavy metal genre. I think they're more sort of heavy rock, and by their own admission, if you read online, they don't really fit into any one category. But what I've read online tends to be sort of heavy metal based. They were formed in '94 and they released a number of albums between '98 and 2005, after which they had a break, and in 2020 they've come back with a couple of songs because of the conflict in Armenia, but they're probably one-off songs, and that ties into some of the things that they tend to sing about. I was surprised that I hadn't known about them because obviously I've followed heavy metal since my teenage years, so Iron Maiden and the like, and the band System of a Down has sold over 40 million records worldwide, so you know they're not quite small, they're quite well known, yeah, I didn't know about them and was really glad to find this particular track and listen to quite a bit of their stuff this last week on Spotify. Their lyrics tend to be often oblique and more explore sort of drug abuse, politics and war, hence the conflict in Armenia. The song's about that at the moment, and they have been pretty successful in the States. They made #1 in the alternative airplay charts and also the mainstream rock charts. They hit #1. They hit number 55 in the US Billboard Hot 100, and they've also won a few Grammy Awards. I think that this particular song, Aerials, won the band its second Grammy Award. Not so well known over here in Europe. They've had some success, so in the UK they did break into the top 40. I think they hit number 34, was pretty much as high as they got. So that's a bit about the band. So why am I actually doing this particular song? Let me go back a little bit. Back in the day I was learning to fly, just a single engine Cessna. Loved it to bits, and it didn't last long enough, unfortunately, but we had a rule, and that rule was if 3 things went wrong, you didn't fly. And since then I've pretty much applied that rule. So if 3 good things happen, I tend to do something. If 3 bad things happen, then I tend to back out of it and I don't do it. So with regards to this song and the channel, the 3 things really seem to be that, you know, I followed heavy metal since my teens and was surprised that I didn't know about this song. I still got locked down here. This is growing. It's going to be heavy metal length soon, so the whole heavy metal thing is coming through. Numerous people on the channel had mentioned this particular song because it's really great for guitar, and in particular somebody at the level that I'm at. So, you know, I think it was probably 3 people, maybe more, that had actually suggested this one to me. So again, the rule of 3 was coming into play. And then just recently, 2 people I follow online, Jan and Buck, they have, I think they're getting taught by the same guitar tutor, and they've been challenged with doing this song, and they put videos out with this, and I thought, well, come on, heavy metal, people keep saying to do it. Jan and Buck are now both working on it. Let's just do it. I've joined the party. So that's the reason why, the rule of 3. Now the first thing that we need to do, I'm playing it on the Les Paul rather than my Ibanez, because you need to change the tuning quite drastically on your guitar. You need to take it from a standard tuning, which is E, A, D, G, B, E, and you need to turn that into drop C tuning. So you make the E a C, the A becomes a G, the D becomes a C, the G becomes an F, B becomes A, and E becomes D. You can Google this and find out, but basically what you're doing is you're dropping the low E string down 2 steps, and then all of the other strings you drop down 1 step. Now it does introduce some interesting dynamics into your guitar, as in the strings actually become quite loose, and what that does on my particular guitar when I'm playing is it's introduced some buzzing, so you have to make sure that you're fretting the notes correctly, but you are probably going to hear a little bit of buzzing as I play through this. You can adjust the action on your guitar, and I think some people also talk about adjusting the nut and other bits and pieces on their guitars to counter that. And I think if you're going to be playing the heavy metal genre, then that's something that you may well want to do. I'm not going that far. I have adjusted the Les Paul to drop C tuning. I'm not planning on doing that on the Ibanez because I want to leave that alone. This is the guitar that I bought to play around with. Now, with regards to the buzzing, some people I've seen online will actually tune their guitars to drop D tuning rather than C. A lot of people following last week's video said please do drop C, so I did decide to do drop C and just battling on with that at the moment. The other thing that was really useful, Jan gave me a tip, and he said, you know, when you're learning this song, because it is quite repetitive and it does follow a series or a number of frets on the low E string primarily, and if you can learn those root notes, that does help you to learn the song a lot more. So for instance, we start off on fret 3, we go to 2, then we go open, 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 then we go 5, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, open, open, open. We then slide down and we do some more on the 12, 10, 7, 7, 7. Then we slide up to the 14, 10, 7, 7, 7. Then we go, I can't remember now, 12, 14, 15, 17, 15, 14, 12, 10, 12. So you can see we're sliding around this low E string quite a lot, and once you can get those root notes in your head, then that makes life a little bit easier. And I'm going to turn the amp on now, and I'll show you how I started to learn that just by playing. So I'll be right back with that in just a moment. Right, I've just double checked my tuning. The Boss TU3 really is a godsend with regards to that. For those of you that want to follow along, I have produced my normal music and tab sheet. This is from a version of this song that I found online. There's lots and lots of different versions. This just happens to be one that I like. Now, my wife was good enough to actually print this out for me because my ink is getting low on my printer, and normally I lay it out on the floor, but unfortunately she decided to print it double-sided. So that becomes a little bit difficult to turn the pages when you're trying to play it on your own, when you need 2 hands on the guitar. So I may well be pausing during this session just to turn the pages. Now, the other thing that I will mention is that the music and the tab sheet will be freely available from my Patreon page, so for those of you that want to pull that down and follow along, then please feel free. Right, so the first part that we need to learn is the intro, and I would suggest if you're a beginner and you're starting to learn this song, then spend quite a bit of time on the intro. Just as a guide, I've spent probably about 2.5 hours on this song so far. So this isn't going to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but this is where I'm at. So the first thing that I did was just to get the root notes in my head, and I was doing that this way. So I'm going 3, 2, open, 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 5, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, open, open, open. I'll just go through that again. So that was basically just what I was doing to start with, just going through that up and down, up and down, up and down. For those of you who got a looper, what you can do is you can actually play that and then play the proper notes over the top, which sounds pretty cool. Haven't done that yet, that's something I'd like to do. So then once we've got that nailed, then the whole of the introduction is very simple. It is playing the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then you're playing the 5th and the 4th string both open. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I am tending to mute a little bit the 5th string. That's because I had a couple of weeks away and my fingers have gone really mushy again. I need to get them hardened up, so I'm having to be extra careful and get my fingers over. And then we move from the 3rd to the 2nd fret, and the same again, it's just 6, 5, 4. Then we play that open, so 3 times we play that, and then we play 1 open and then straight into a 5, then the 3, and then the 2, heard it buzz there, and then we play that again, so we're playing that 3 times. And then we play a single 2, down to the 3, down to the 5, down to the 7, then 8, and then we're going back, but we just play the 5th and the 4th on the 7th, 5th and the 4th on the 5th, and then we go back to the 3 on the 3, and then 2, and then open, open, open. And then from there we go open, and then we're up to our 12. Add up to a 14th. That's basically the whole of the introduction. From there, for those of you that are interested, you then start getting into the chorus part, which you need to bar across the 12th fret, and you're playing this 7 times, I think. Try not to buzz it. And then we come up to the 8th fret, again bar across that, and we're just playing the top 3 strings. All of this is just top 3 strings. And then we need to play a particular strumming sequence, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3. So it's, again, it's in the music. So it's 1, don't play the 2nd, 3, 4, and 1 and 2. 3 and 4 and then that repeats. So haven't quite got that in my head yet. I've just started to do that. So we then basically go through that. You play the that strumming session sequence once. You then come down to the really nice bit that I like, where you need to play the 3rd string of the 12th fret and the 5th string of the 5th fret, but before you do that, you just play the top 2 strings open, and you play that 4 times. Then you lower your finger down and you're playing the 5, 4 and 3 string. Slide up to the 10th fret, then the 9th fret, and then we come up to the 7th fret, and then that repeats, and then we get into another bit, and I will cover that in this session, but I'm pretty much going to be quiet now and just work my way through it. So one of the things that I would suggest if you're beginning is just start off with not playing the 3 notes, but just getting the hang of the root notes. So that's what I would start off with. Right, okay. I'm going to try and forget that the camera's running, because everything always goes wrong when the camera's running, and we'll see how we get on. So that's it played all the way through. Still got quite a bit of work, and I tend to find that when I'm strumming, there's two ways of strumming the intro. You can either strum all down, which is the one that I tend to find easier, but some people are teaching down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. I do want to try and get used to playing down, down, up, and it's probably something, I saw this online the other day, and I think it's something that I may well try and do. But I am finding that it's very, very repetitious, and as you probably heard, when I get about halfway through, this hand, particularly my wrist, starts to get really, really tired, and then I start to miss the fourth string. So this week I'm going to continue to work on the intro and the first part up to where we are doing the this little bit. So that definitely needs a little bit more work doing on it. Sometimes I'm catching the low E string not quite as clean as I would like, and also I need to work on the strumming part. I don't tend to like strumming up, it doesn't sound right, it sounds better when it's all down. So it's down. So I've got to work on that a little bit more. And also when I'm bowing across the strings, making sure that I'm not buzzing, particularly with this drop C tuning, which is, it sounds a lot better, but it is a complete nightmare when you're trying to play. So that is System of a Down. It's a great little song, it's really nice for somebody at my level. Remember, I will be uploading the music sheets to my Patreon page. If you want to follow along, please download those. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, it does help the channel. If you aren't a subscriber, then please consider subscribing. I'm only a beginner, I am basically documenting my guitar journey, learning to play the guitar, and I tend to break everything down into its component parts. So if I'm reviewing any of the gear that I'm using, then I do look at trying to educate people on my feelings and how I use it as a beginner, rather than just rocking out to making the gear seem really great. And then when we are working on the songs, again, as I've tried to do in this video, is break it down so that you know what we're trying to do and then play it through. So anyway, this is this video done. I look forward to seeing you on the next one, and thank you very much for your time today. Take care, bye bye. Still got some work to do on it, and yeah, hands getting tired now. Take care, bye bye.